All right, guys, so you're going to be traveling either a long haul or a short haul flight. There are a lot of things to consider, but one thing I'm going to delve into today that isn't normally discussed, and you may not even think it's a thing, because you think once you get on the plane, I can sit down, I can knock out, I'm good. But what is the intel report is that comes out of certain areas that I have access to in the last year or so, onboard thefts have become more prevalent, especially in the region of Asia / Southeast Asia. So obviously I'm based out here, and this is somewhat of a travel channel, so we're going to talk about it a little bit. So now obviously when you travel, it's chaotic. When you deal with airlines, it's organized confusion. So a lot of you are going to bring a carry-on, so you're going to be worried about, is it overweight? Some of you are going to try to sneak two of them in there, and that's fine, whatever works for you. But what you're going to encounter, now a lot of you are going to be like, well, you know, my carry-on, I'm going to store it directly above me, or I'm going to put it under my seat. So what happens is a lot of times you're going to try to put it under your seat. And we've all had that steward or stewardess basically say, you can't have anything in the seat, and they take your bag. Now the problem is that what a lot of you are going to let happen is that they're going to take that bag and put it behind your seat. Okay, so number one, that's a mistake, because once again, you have no line of sight to your bag. And then another thing I recommend is that you're going to put it directly above you. Now some of you, when you get on the plane, you guys get the itis, which means you knock out, you fold down that table, and you actually lay your bare face on it. I've seen this happen numerous times, which once again is a conversation for another day. So you have your carry-on. The thing is that number one, it should be locked, but a lot of you are not going to do that. You should not be having $20,000 in cash and jewelry in your bag. Whatever is pertinent to your existence, meaning your credentials, your money, your jewelry, stays on your person. That means, you know, obviously you make fun of the guys with the fanny packs or the shoulder bags, but at the same time, it's a bag that is an extension of you, and it's attached to you. If you start to put that out of sight, once again, it can disappear. So the reports that are coming out are basically, it's a little alarming at this point that either on that 1.5 or 3.5 hour flight, like the Philippines, or if you're going to Bali, because when you're in Southeast Asia, you're gonna bounce around a little bit, right? So think of it like this. Normally people are animals when they try to get on the line to, you know, board the plane. We know this, especially when, you know, the plane hasn't landed and people are standing up already. So what I recommend you do is that when you're walking straight to your seat, now another issue with these airplanes is that the number isn't necessarily visible. So you might make the mistake, you might be nervous, and you might put your bag in a place that's not advantageous. So what I recommend you do is that you should have frontal and lateral sight regarding putting your bag up. I also recommend an aisle seat, because once again, if you're deep up against the window, is that also that's going to take away from your line of sight. So consider what I'm saying regarding where you put your bag, because like I said, there's been numerous reports coming out of a particular office that people are rummaging through the bags. Normally they work in pairs. So what happens is one guy gets up, go check on that guy. Is he sleeping? Right? The guy gives him the thumbs up. They lift the bag, and then basically they go through it, they zip it back up, and by the time you realize that your personal effects are gone, these guys are in the wind. All right, so coffee and juice. Hopefully you got something out of a little bit of a safety tip regarding the do's and don'ts of the carry-ons. Once again, just to recap, if you could keep it under your seat, that's great. And also just something that I want you to consider, because it happened to me. I'm a guy who usually grabs a emergency exit. I pay the extra money. But the thing is that I try to keep my bag on the floor, like I said. So what's going to happen is that, remember, the steward or a stewardess's job, it's not that they don't care about you. They want to lock everybody in, and they want to take off. So number one, they're sometimes not the smartest either. And they're going to take your bag, and the girl tried to take my bag and put it behind you. So obviously gently I said, I go, how am I gonna get my bag when all these savages get up? So once again, in front of you, to the left, pole position, aisle seat. You can watch your bag the whole time. And then once again, can someone still get it? Yeah, but people are gonna line you up, meaning they're gonna see, all right, this guy don't look that sharp, this girl don't look that sharp. And also another thing you might do when it comes to luggage, if you're someone who's an aficionado of what luggage costs, right? You're looking at the Toomies, you're looking at all these brand names. Guys that are criminals, they're like, look at this guy. Got the leather, got the Toomey. So one would think, we got the laptop we're gonna take, we got the money, we got the jewels. So all these things considered, if you're rolling around with a sick bag, that's gonna once again bring attention to you, right? So just keep these things in mind, coffee and juice. Hopefully you got something out of this little bit of a niche portion of travel safety. All right, we'll talk soon.